Hello guys and welcome back to the Anarchy Garage, and today I'm going to be cracking on with the E-Type Revenge build. If you're not familiar with this build, this started out as a concept which we found on a render and actually decided to buy the design, which we've turned into a real car. We've since then cut up a 2022 F-Type and stolen out of it its 5-litre supercharged engine and running gear and put it in our E-Type. The car is also on bag performance air suspension. We've got custom made West Forged wheels and also Nankang tyres to top it off as well. So today's plan is actually to start working on the rear end. In the previous episode, I actually built all of the wide arches on this car and started doing all of the actual body modifications on the outside. However, the rear end here needs some major changes, mainly because it is all rotten and mostly missing, but also this car being a Series 3 E-Type, I actually need to convert the lower half of the car into a Series 1. So let me show you the panels and what I'm going to be doing with the back end. Let's talk E-Type rear ends then. So there are loads of different models within the E-Types. You've got Series 1, 2 and 3, but then there are the sub-models within it. This car, for example, is a Series 3 2+2, which means it has got more room and hopefully for 2 in the front, 2 in the back, so it is a 4-person car. That then means that this is the biggest car in the E-Type range. It's the longest and tallest. It was meant to be built as a tourer. Now, the reason we went for this car for a few reasons is, firstly, the running gear. Because we've used the F-Type running gear in this, it's absolutely massive. And when we looked at the dimensions of the other cars, it wouldn't have gone into the other cars properly. We're already absolutely at the limits of this body size to get this running gear in. So it was definitely the right move. Also, it's going to give us more room in the cockpit area. This has the biggest headroom, so we've actually lowered the floor down by a further 2 centimeters on this car to make sure you've got the most headroom to get obviously our modern interior and dash in there as well. So it's about expanding the car as much as we can to make it a comfortable drive. Now, moving on to the rear end, because of us moving to a Series 3, it means we've got a different rear end than our render. And the big difference is this big rear light panel. Now, that is completely different to the render, and I'll pop the render on the screen somewhere around here now. And you'll be able to see that we've got this big smooth off panel on the bottom half. So, how do we achieve that? What I've got here is a Series 1 lower rear quarter panel. So what I'm going to do is actually cut off this panel here and replace it with the lovely Series 1 smoothed off look. Now, another reason why we went for this car in particular is this car is very rotten. And rather than having a really pretty car that we're going to cut all of the good metal out of, all of the bits which are bad on this car are actually what we need to replace anyway. So all of that is scrap and would need replacing. So put on a Series 1 panel in the middle, and then we can actually build the center section out of steel ourselves. My lower rear quarters are held on with a couple of vice grips. Now, this enables me to double check all of the measurements before I actually weld them in place. Also, I've got a bit of overhang which goes into the wheel arches, so that'll need to be cut off to get my 20-inch wheels back in there. Then I'll be cutting out the center section here and actually curving a piece of metal into the middle to form the boot floor. But for now, double check the measurements and get these actually tacked on. Change of direction then with the rear end of the E-Type. So I'd made my boot floor using the English wheel and it came out really well. But then the more I stared at the render, I couldn't lose this amazing number plate recess on the back. Now the number plate recess then becomes my exhaust exit for the E-Type. Now this was something I was playing with losing just to make sure there was more integrity in the car. But then I figured out how to do it, so I went and bought a pad. Great stage to get to then with the E-Type build. Actually having the Series 1 rear end welded underneath, it has completely changed the look of this car, and also it's now completely solid with the new panels. So if you are actually doing a Series 1 conversion, there is a kit for this. Now the kit actually comes with your rear lights as well for your Series 1, so actually cut a hole, drop them in and then tack them in, the same as I've actually done the rest of the panel work on this car. There is also a centre section here that you can do, but everybody recommends that you don't cut out your original if it's good. You actually just cut a recess out and then hammer and dolly the edge around. This is so structural. Personally, I wouldn't get too involved with it if you don't have to. So the next stage with the car is actually going to be welding in the inner arches. So this is a bit that I couldn't do because the inner arches obviously link in to the lower quarters. So by doing that, it will add loads more strength into this back end, so it will become structural again. And at the moment, there is a little bit of flex in it, which there has been since I bought the car. But by linking it all together, loads more strength to it. Also, I'm going to be welding in the boot floor. So that links into the back of the kind of subframe and axle area all the way down to the boot floor. Now, the big question is going to be, because the exhaust now, with how it comes through the number plate recess, has to come back into the car, it's then going to be how to do that, because obviously the exhaust needs to come past the subframe, so it's how it comes past it and then also how it links in. Because of this car and the build, space is at a premium, so we don't know where the air tank's going to go for the air ride, we don't know where things like the fuel tank are going to go yet, and obviously all the electrics because of the F-Type engine. So this is going to be something that is going to change. It's going to be a bit of a fluid design. But firstly, let's get all of this panel work done to make sure that this is as strong as possible. Major progress then with the E-Type inner arches, or tubs if you want to call them that as well, because they are making way for a much larger wheel in this case. So I've welded them all the way around. It's then joined my subframe to the inner panels of the car and also to this outer rear quarter, which is where it was actually missing a little bit of its strength. So what I'll do now is use the exact same stencil over onto the driver's side to maintain symmetry. So I'll build that panel next and start getting it welded in. Masses of work then achieved on the rear end of the E-Type. So now I've got all of my inner arch joined in as well, and it's got this beautiful shape which goes from the original E-Type straight into my kind of tub section here. and it's something that's kind of lost on the render how these things are going to work, and I just absolutely love that. There's no kind of dirt or moisture traps there as well, so again, hopefully this will last the entirety of the car. The next section I'm going to move on to though is here, and the reason for that is there is actually loads of repair work to do here. It's tacked in place on what good metal was remaining, but it does need this section doing. So I'm going to get a little sheet of metal, then give it a 90-degree curve before running it through the English wheel to get the curvature of the car just right as well. But then this side is well and truly ticked off. Massive progress then on the E-Type today with actually making the panels to join together my Series 1 boot floor all the way back into my XJ floor, which then mounts obviously into my Series 3 Jag. So lots of very custom panel work in the back. Now this area is something that I had put a lot of thought into. The reason being is because of the exhaust actually coming out of this number plate recess, I was looking at other ways to do it. It's quite an in-depth process to bring the exhaust into the car and then get it out the back as well. So I was trying to tweak the render however I could, but by moving the exhaust underneath it, it would have affected the diffuser. And being such a key part, I didn't want to move too far away from the render with it. So this panel here actually gives me a little bit of extra room. So when the exhaust come under the diff, they've almost got to do a double 90 to enter the car. So I've got a little bit of extra room there to allow that to happen. Then obviously I've got my little letterbox in the back here, and the letterbox hopefully then will join on to the back of the number plate, and I can tunnel it in, one, to get rid of any wind noise, and two, to make sure there's no exhaust gases getting into the car as well. So quite a complex little part to do, but it's turned out great, or it's turning out great at the moment. I'm really pleased. The Series 1 conversion then is now completed on the back end of our car. Now, if you were looking at this as a how-to, obviously there are going to be some subtle differences to how you would do it at home. Now, there are kits available for you to do this. We have had a look at these. Now, some of those include actually having rear lights, obviously going into the rear quarters, using Series 1 rear lights rather than a Series 2 or 3. And also the panel just underneath the boot lid. It would actually be recessed out for the number plate. The number plate recess is slightly larger on the Series 1. But for us matching a render, this is exactly how we want it. And also now having all of the panel work done on the inside of the car to match the exhaust, it is really taking shape. But for now, that is it for this episode of the Anarchy Garage. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.